Cheers, legends. Sammy from Short and Stout Beer Reviews. First of all, I apologise for the change of time with this stream. It was going to be last night after I come home from Melbourne, but I had a pretty big night, and yeah, like I just got to a stage I was like, I can't really be bothered kicking on. So I rescheduled it to the morning. I'm still feeling quite hungover, so it could be interesting, but I feel like it's going to make me feel better. So let's go for it. So it's the first birthday beers from Future, and they're out of Sydney. They're a very new brewery that have got a lot of hype around them. So it's pretty cool that they do all these collabs with these other hype breweries, and they've established quite a name for themselves early. So they got four different beers for their first birthday. The first one is a double dry hopped hazy pale. The second is a West Coast double dry hopped 7% with Alvarado Street out of California. And they've done a beer with them previously, I think. I reckon they might have done a hazy together. And then the third beer is a double dry hopped hazy double IPA called Kiwi Dreams, and that's with Bracket Brewing, which is my hat. They're out of Sydney as well. And then the last one, which I didn't really want to try any of these until I did this review, but they had this beer on tap at the event I was at yesterday, and I thought, stuff it, I want to try it on tap. So this is a triple dry hopped hazy triple IPA called Nelson. So four pretty big beers, or three anyway. One of them's a pale. So I'll do what I normally do, where I just go through each one and probably drink about half a can of each one. I've just got my Carwin Cellars glassware. So that's the bar I was at yesterday. Had a really good day actually. Drank plenty of different stuff. Had like some Impy stouts, some lambics, some lagers, some IPAs. And caught up with some people I hadn't seen for a while. So it was a really good day. And I'll check the chat, shall I? Cheers, Craig. I'd say this is from last night. Yep. Yeah, so I was all keen when I got home to do these four beers. And then, once I sort of settled down, because I'd come home on the train, I just started getting tired, and I was like, I don't really feel like I need to have any more beer. So it worked out better to have them today anyway, because I'll end up getting on it with the other boys. So cheers, buddy. Hashtag Icehouse. Cheers again, dude. How you going, Lee? Good to see you. And cheers, Daniel. So let's get into these beers, boys. Hopefully they're tasty. I'm pretty confident they will be. Future are good. So each one I'll try and find the hops on as well. So this one's got Motueka and Nelson, and that's from Freestyle Farms in New Zealand. And it's good this weekend because I don't go back to work till Monday night. So I feel like this is like my Saturday morning. So I'll probably go up to the logo on each one. She's a pretty small glass, this one. And this one is 5.5%. This is a Jagman Hazy Pale. Shout out to Jagman, who's currently on Simo's Subs channel. Shout out to him. So in the glass, it's sort of like in between like a yellow and orange. Sort of like a pale orange, I'd say. It's quite cloudy. I would say low end medium body. Looks like it's quite full for a pale ale anyway. Carbonation's pretty light, about a one finger head. Looks pretty good. Let's go with. So I'm getting huge white grape, some mango, passion fruit, maybe a touch of lime as well. It's not overly sweet, the aroma. I reckon there's a touch of like maybe some peach as well. A little bit grassy. Smells pretty good. And yeah, it's good that I've got a fresh palate this morning. Just a shame I've got a hangover. I need I need a big dirty kebab or something. Actually, one thing I was going to cook today is a big bowl of carbonara. That'll hit the spot. Anyway, I'm going in. Hair of the dog. Cheers, peeps. Yeah, you're getting huge lemon and lime. Touch of berry, passion fruit. Yeah, I feel like there's a touch of mango there, as I said, on the nose. It's got like a white bready backbone. Very soft and pillowy. Finishes fairly dry as well, and it's got a little touch of bitterness to it. It's a very nice pale ale, to be honest. It's light and zingy, and with the dryness and the bitterness and that, like it sort of comes across like it's an IPA. Like it's it packs a punch with flavour. It's weird with this hat how the logo's like off center. It always trips me out. It reminds me of like a hat like a jockey would wear or something. One thing that was cool too is yeah, last time I was in Melbourne, I left some headphones behind at a bar. And like, yeah, I'm shocking with that sort of stuff. I yeah, get a few beers in me and I'm always leaving stuff behind or yeah, forgetting stuff. And yeah, anyway, I called into this bar on the way back to the train to get back home and yeah, the guys had left the headphones there for me so I could come and collect them. So that was good. It's good to be able to walk and sit on public transport and listen to music again because it's been a good month or so. Yeah, I like that like zingy lemon lime you get from Motueka. When it's done well, Motueka, it's probably one of my favourite hops. So yeah, as I said, finishes dry. It's got a touch of bitterness. It's a really nice pale ale. It sort of reminds me of like when I've had pale ales from Track because they're punchy and full of flavour. They sort of drink like they're an IPA. And that's what that one's like. So yeah. On to the next. Pardon me. So yeah, this was the West Coast. 7% collaboration with Alvarado Street, and they're known for their Westies. This one, it's called Piano Polaroid. Oh, and the last one I forgot to mention was called Almost Never. So yeah, Piano Polaroid. What a name. So yeah, 7% double dry hopped West Coast IPA. It has Mosaic, Nectaron, and Crush. Crush spelt with a K. That's one of the new, I think. Yeah, Nectaron and Crush are both fairly new hops. Let's hope it's a proper Westie. Good little glass, this one. Just simple but effective. So yeah, it looks quite nice in the glass. I'd say medium straw. Lively carbonation, one finger head. Probably look same as the last beer, low end, medium body. But yeah, the carbonation's very lively in this one. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, it's very clean and clear. Let's go a whiff. Looking forward to this one. I need a bit of bitterness. Oh, it's got quite a fruity aroma for a West Coast. So I'm getting pineapple and passion fruit. Maybe a berry touch. It smells quite sweet for a West Coast. Might have a touch of like lemon and lime as well. Peach, maybe. I feel like this one's like bready and biscuity. But yeah, the aroma sort of surprised me. It's got like a real like sort of sweet, fruity like aroma. West Coast, you normally don't get that. Cheers, Paul. Good to see you, brother. Just doing a hair of the dog 4 beer review. Good old Future Brewing for their first birthday. So yeah, this is the second beer, dude, the West Coast. But it smells like a very fruity, almost like a hazy. So yeah, I'm not getting any pine or any sort of green hop character. Anyway, it might be deceiving. It might be different on the palate. Let's go in. Cheers. Ah, it's real weird. It's like tropical fruit. As I said, like pineapple and passion fruit. Might be a touch of grapefruit there. Oh, it's got a little like I'm getting some lingering bitterness. Yeah, that's definitely surprised me a little. So yeah, up front you're getting bread, biscuit, and like tropical fruit. Maybe a little touch of citrus. And you think this doesn't taste like a West Coast IPA at all, and then all of a sudden this huge bitterness hits you and it like leaves a massive aftertaste. It's got like a woodsy sort of vibe to it. Berry, woodsy. Mm. But yeah, it doesn't. It might be a very, very faint touch of like pine. But yeah, that lingering bitterness is like at first I'm like, oh, tropical fruit. What's this all about? But that bitterness is awesome. Cheers, Stuart. Cool, dude. Yeah, they've always been an awesome band. That, like, out of the grunge scene, they were always my favourites, and I felt they were underrated. Awesome harmonies. Jerry's a rad guitarist, but Lane's voice is one of the best rock voices out there. He's fucking phenomenal. But yeah, sort of Nirvana and Pearl Jam always got most of the glory. But yeah, I just think Alice in Chains are far better. Cheers, Wendy. Good to see you, mate. Are you listening to Alice in Chains as well? Pardon me. I've got the old burpees. So yeah, that one sort of it's confusing. As I said, it's got that modern West Coast vibe to it, like the bready, biscuity without the sort of caramel. Um, the body's probably lighter than I would have hoped. And yeah, you got tropical fruit up front and sweetness. It was really, really weird. But then the lingering bitterness that just come at the end, it's like, ooh, like I really like that. So yeah, it's a little bit confusing. But let's go to the next one. I like the can artwork with the next one. Kiwi Dreams. It's just got kiwi fruit everywhere. So yeah, collaboration with Bracket. And Bracket are one of my favourite Sydney breweries. People would have heard me talk about them on the channel. They've had trouble with their establishment. They had to get out of there because the landlord started jacking up the prices, and it just got too much for them, especially after the pandemic. So their stuff's been sitting in storage, all their brewing equipment. And apparently, according to Instagram and Facebook, I've seen a photo of them getting their stuff out of storage. So they're obviously got a new site now. So they'll start pumping out the beers again soon. So that'll be awesome. Looking forward to it. They were one of those breweries that I really enjoyed. So whenever they'd bring out their limited releases every month, I'd always make an order and get it sent to me. So yeah, this one is a eight. Whew, we're going up a notch now, boys and girls. 8.5%. What was it? Double dry hopped hazy double IPA. It's got Peacharine, Motueka, and Nelson. I feel like these guys really love their Motueka and Nelson. So yeah, this one should be it should be good. Let's get into it. Cheers, Thomas. Good to see you, brother. It's been a while. Yeah, Stuart, I think I've said to you before, dude, listen to Man in the Box isolated vocals. So it's just Lane's voice. It's like haunting, but fucking amazing at the same time, especially as it gets towards the end of the song. But yeah, one thing with Alice in Chains is their work, their harmonies, like they're singing together. It's like very, very underrated. And I think when I look at a lot of bands in like the rock genre or grunge, a lot of my favorite bands tend to be when there's a like a backup singer slash guitarist that's voice works really well with the main voice. I've noticed there's a bit of a trend there with bands I like. So yeah, that those two are one of the best, I reckon. Would have been unreal to see them live when Lane was around. That damn heroin gets the better of quite a lot of them. This this beer looks fucking amazing. So it's like a dull orange colour, like very hazy. It doesn't look very full. That's yeah, a little negative, but just the colour and I don't know, the appearance is really nice. So it's like a one finger head. Carbonation's fairly light. Yeah, as I said, it's got that sort of milky orangey look. Yeah, medium body. I'm going a whiff. I feel like this is going to be a very good beer. I better take that off. I always get in trouble. It's like, oh, the comments are covering your face. So yeah, lemon and lime, getting the white lime character, some peach, and maybe some orange. There's definitely some citrus, like sweet citrus there. It's sort of yeah, it's different this one. You're getting more sort of citrus and stone fruit. I reckon a white bready backbone. It's sort of got that same sort of smell as the hazy pale, but like elevated, like the flavors are popping more, or the notes, shall I say? Hmm. It's definitely going to have that soft, pillowy mouthfeel just looking at it. Sort of, it smells like it's got that woodsy character that I got in the last. Would have been good if they had like a lager or a stout in the fall instead of like, yeah, it's a bit annoying how it's three hazy beers and a West Coast. Anyway, I'm going in. Cheers. Okay, so the body, like the mouth feels fuller than what it looks. Yeah, it actually drinks sort of like medium to full body, whereas it certainly doesn't look like that. So it's more of like a sort of a smooth, creamy, like fuller body. You're getting like this, it's almost like a tart edge, like it's tangy. Yeah, sort of, you're getting like that zesty lime, but it's like maybe it's like a pithy grapefruit or something. I feel like you're getting like a white peach. It's a little different, which is good. No, all good, brother. I knew you were. To be honest, I'm not really concentrating too much on the comments. I think because I'm a little hungover, I'm just really enjoying the beers. Yeah, it's like grassy, like floral. It's got that floral hop character. Mm. There's not really any bitterness. Maybe just a touch. Maybe it's like a dank sort of edge I'm getting. There's just something like I can't put my finger on. Yeah, I'd say white grape, berry, lemon and lime, peach is very prominent. Hmm, not much more I can say really. Like it's complex. Yeah, boy. Ooh, that was a good one. So yeah, one thing that was pretty funny yesterday, I stayed at the same birthday event all day pretty much. So I didn't like because of our shit public transport. I didn't get there till about 11:30. Um, and that was the earliest train. So the earliest train doesn't get you to the city till like nearly lunchtime. So that's ridiculous for starters. And then thankfully it wasn't as busy early as we thought. So I felt like I didn't really miss out on too much. But yeah, I was there all day, plenty of beers, birthday cake, good times. Um, bought some takeaways as well. And then, yeah, as I said, I wanted to go to this other bar on the way back to, because it's on the way back into the city from where the bar is to get my headphones. And anyway, they've got happy hour at, I think it might be 4 till 6 or 5 to 7. It's 2 hours anyway. And they got all these real good beers and you get them for half price. So I'm like, oh, I'll quickly go in and get my headphones and I'll have a beer and then I'll quickly get back on the other tram to get back into the city. And I got carried away. I was like talking, looking through their fridges, went to the toilet, whatever. I had two really good beers for half price. Then I've looked at the time, I'm like, fuck me. Like if I don't get this next tram into the city, I'm fucked. I'm gonna be stuck in the city. I'm not gonna get home to the dogs. I'm gonna have to, I don't know, like just party all night or find accommodation. I was just like, fuck, like I've left it too late. Anyway, the tram got there. It was running late. It got there. I got on there. Pretty much all it was the whole journey was Chinese students just crowding the whole tram. And we got close to the station. I knew I had about 2 minutes to sprint off the tram onto the platform where the my train was. And everyone's like in my road. I'm just like, fuck it, I don't care. So I'm just like barged through. I'm like, sorry, out of my way. I'm in a hurry. Move, just like slapping them out of the way. And yeah, we got to the station. The doors open. I've just fucking bolted, and the traffic light, the little green man, just happened to come on perfect time, and I've sprinted across the road. I've quickly checked what platform it was on. Thankfully, it was only because it's a massive station. Thankfully, it was only halfway to the other side. So I've quickly bolted up the escalator. I've seen the train was still there. I'm like, yes. Ran down, quickly got on the train, like, whoo, like, you know how that relief, you're just like, yes. And then I sat down, and just as I sat down, the train started taking off. I'm like, fuck. Like, if it wasn't for the panic and the rush and that, there's no way I would have got home. So yeah, then after that, I was just pumped full of adrenaline, and normally I get sleepy on the train home, but yeah, I was wide awake after that. So yeah, Melbourne stories with Sammy. Okay, let's go to the next one. Simpsons. Nelson, Nelson, Nelson. I do like too. I've only just noticed the last few beers. As the future logo's got their birthday on it, like the candle. It's pretty cool. So yeah, triple dry hopped, hazy, triple IPA. Safe to say that it's hopped with Nelson and probably only just Nelson. 10%. Ooh. Time for me to say goodnight. I'm a little scared for this one. What's everyone doing out there anyway? I haven't asked. Hopefully everyone's having a nice weekend. It's always odd when like it's my Sunday, but it's everyone else's Saturday. So yeah, this one looks a lot more fuller. It's got more of an orange tinge as well, but it's not really showing up on my camera. I'd say a 1 to 2 finger head. It's very, very hazy. It's got that huge like hop saturation look. I'd definitely say this one's like packed with like oats and flaked wheat. Cheers, Levi. Good to see you, brother. Hummina, hummina. Hope you're well, dude. Yeah, so carbonation, hard to see because it's so hazy. Yeah, I'd say it's probably still a medium body, but medium to full. Yeah, let's go with. I'm getting some passion fruit. I always think of that when I see it because you quite often when we'd be in like miscellaneouses, you'd write it, and I just thought it was funny. Yeah, so I'm getting some passion fruit, white grape, grapefruit. It's got more of like a pithy, like a bitter, sort of zesty feel to it. There's not much sweetness. No, I'm good. I am I'm roaring. I'm ready to go. The only thing I need is food. But yeah, as I said, I'm cooking up a carbonara at some stage. Geordie buddy crashes, then he comes back, then he crashes again, then he once I crash, I'm done. But in saying that, I'm quite a lot older than Geordie is. Hmm. I'd say, yeah, white bread. White bread maybe slightly grainy backbone. One thing we were talking about yesterday is like, yeah, the fact that Metallica are coming back to Australia, and there was a few of us at this bar that have always wanted to see him and haven't seen him yet. So yeah, it's like I think the tickets go on sale early next week, maybe even tomorrow. So it's going to be bedlam trying to get them. Mmm. So yeah, I'm getting like that zingy lime, grapefruit, passion fruit, white grape. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going in. Enough smelling. Let's drink this shit. Ooh. So one thing you find with breweries, I find a lot of them struggle with triple IPAs. Just the balance is always tough. The malt, like quite often, you get this huge sweet malt, and it's hard to get that sort of, I don't know, the harmony between the huge malt base and the hops. I feel like they've hopped this through the eyeballs with Nelson, and it actually works really well. It's it's a triple IPA yes, you do get a little bit of booze, but it's drinking quite nice. Whew, it's good. And I got a feeling too, from what I've seen, this one had shit ratings on Untapped. Just goes to show that some fuckwits out there, they probably don't like it because it's like not your super juicy. I mean, it's juicy, but it's very like, yeah, very like Nelson white wine type beer, and yeah, like it's boozy, but in a good way. Um, I mean, you can't criticize the mouthfeel at all. I mean, oh, you could say it's maybe a bit not as full as some, but it's very smooth and creamy. Yeah, I don't know how they could only. I remember seeing the average score was like under 4. It was like 3.8 or something. I'm like, what the fuck? In saying that though, like maybe because I've let it sit for a little while, it's probably maybe it was a bit harsh up front when first brewed. But yeah, I think it's drinking very, very well. It's not sweet at all. It's quite dry. I mean, if you're looking for a beer that's like got some oomph to it and you love your white wine, it's a very, very good beer. Here we go. You gotta get back into Untapped. Yesterday, I was looking at Untapped so many times, and I'm standing at the side of this bar and I'm drinking all this hype and that. I'm like, oh, I should like start checking them in. Then I was just like, oh, I can't be fucked. Couple of lambics I had yesterday. Ooh. There was one that we had were standing right on the side of the beer garden bar, and the sun was just like beaming down on us. And when we took the photo of this like a creek lambic, yeah, it was just like full on fucking bright burgundy red. It looked so good. Oh, and one thing that was pretty cool, made me feel good because I'm a dog lover, a dog man. There was this old dog there, and like he just so much about him reminded me of my Labrador Angus. And he's sitting there and he's like just chilling, but you could tell he's at that age where he's like, I don't know, he just looked like he was in pain or slightly out of sorts. Like even though he was loving life being in the beer garden, you can just tell. You can just tell with their body language and their appearance that they're just at that stage of their life when they're just like pretty knackered. And anyway, something come up about like his breed and then his age, this dog. And me being the fucking boisterous, loud, like don't give a fuck who I talk to sort of person. I just looked at him and I go, I reckon he's 10 years old. And the owner just turns around and goes, bingo, you're spot on there, mate. And they're like, how do you know that? And I just said, oh, I don't know. Just looking at him, he just looks like he's 10. He looks like he's lived a good life, but he's sort of on the decline. And they're like, yep, you've nailed it. Poor dogs. I hate how they can't live as long as us. Speaking of dogs, I don't know where mine are. They're probably running amok around the neighbourhood. But yeah, so I've drank all four of them now, not full cans. I think I've drank sort of a third of a can, a half of a can of each. And yeah, all four beers pretty good. Not gonna lie. Pardon me. So yeah, when I do the reviews like this, when there's a group of beers, I don't normally score them. I'll just say what my pick of the bunch was. Um, yeah, I'm not going to say the West Coast. As much as I love the style, it just wasn't true enough to the style. So that's out. The pale's out just because it's a pale. But in all honesty, I probably like these two evenly. So the Kiwi Dreams, which was the double dry hopped double IPA with bracket, and then the Nelson triple dry hopped triple IPA. I just thought both of them were fantastic. They weren't like elite level, but they're sort of pushing it, if you get what I mean. So very, very, very good. So yeah, well done, Future. Good brewery, and I've been on them since they started. So yeah, if anyone's ever in Australia and looking for a good brewery, Sydney Future, get around them. I'm not sure whether they do the whole distribution to Asia and that yet, but yeah, Rampant Line, James. Maybe he might be drinking Future at some stage soon. But yeah, it's good. Normally when I do these reviews, they go for sort of around that hour mark. It's good. Doing the side by side of the same brewery. Always enjoy it, like a showcase sort of thing. Cheers, Joshy boy. Good to see you. We'll probably share a beer shortly, dude. I'm just about to exit and not sure what's next. So yeah, thanks everyone for chiming in, and we'll see you on the next.